everyone, and welcome back to another flashlight review. So today we're going to be looking at the Fenix E06R, and this is one of the most feature-packed keychain flashlights out there. It's smaller than my Nextorch EDC23, and it's a little bit larger than my Wuben E8. I'll do a bit of a side-by-side later. So it's a pretty simple operation. Just press and hold the main switch in the center to go through the 4 different modes. Now, you press and hold to turn off. Now, if you double press, you do get this kind of rainbow effect, RGB effect. There's a flashy red mode and a flashy blue mode, plus there's like a red and blue hazard mode. Just press and hold for off. In order to activate the UV mode, just press and hold this blue button here on the side. I'll demo that later with some bits and pieces. And also you've got a red laser. So in terms of what you get in the box, it's pretty much everything that you see here. You get the lights itself. There is a lanyard, also a USB-C charging cable. They do also include an instruction manual. So that's the box here if you want to take a look at the specifications. Okay, so here you can see my Fenix E06R compared to a few other flashlights that I own. So that's here, Nextorch EDC23. So it's a good chunk smaller than it. It's almost the same size as my Wuben E8, but yeah, it is a little bit shorter thickness-wise, probably a little bit thicker, but you can't really tell. Of course, the larger flat-style flashlights like the Loop SK05 Pro and the Fenix TK28R just kind of looks tiny compared to those. So here's a little close-up of the Fenix E06R, just so that you can get a look of the overall construction quality. And it's got a CNC machined aluminium body, HA3 anodized finish, and overall the thing feels really premium. I like those little colored accents as well on the buttons. They're all made of metal. Feels pretty premium, especially for a keychain flashlight. And as you can see, it's got this kind of flat body design. And he measures 69 millimeters. The head's 29 millimeters in width, and you have a body thickness of 16 millimeters. It's IP66 water resistant, 1 meter drop resistant as well. I like that you've got this strong clip here on the back, and yeah, you can take that clip off if you want as well, if it's just something you'd rather carry on a keychain. That's, yeah, the clip's probably not going to have much use for a lot of you, but there is a strong magnet here in the tail which allows it to stick horizontally to objects as well as, of course, above. And yeah, these metal side buttons here are to activate different features. So you've got the UV feature, you've got the red laser feature there, and the main white light button here. So I like how all the different features are separated out, so it's very intuitive, not going to get lost in between all these different features. And yeah, there is a battery indicator ring as well, so if you just press it once, you can see it lights up green and then turns off. You've got USB-C charging, and that port is internally waterproofed. There is a built-in battery, so 750 milliamps, which is actually surprisingly high for a light of this size. And here's the area where you can just attach a key ring in the back. All right, so if you look down the head of the flashlight, you can see there's a couple of TIR lenses here to the side. So these house a couple of SST12 LEDs, and the center there you've got the UV LED. It's the SST08 365 nanometer UV LED, and the laser module is just here as well in that darkened area of the head. I do like that they include a proper 365 nanometer UV LED in there. That's great for detecting security features on documents and just allows more vibrant fluorescent effect. And the laser is a 0.39 milliwatt laser, so it's not super powerful, but it's going to be enough for presentations, pointing stuff out. And a great little finishing touch is Fenix have added a glass lens on the front. I tried to scratch that up with a blade before, and it's all good. Definitely is glass. Okay, so a little run through of the UI. If you press and hold this side switch, it goes into memory mode. So there are only 4 modes for lighting modes with the two SST12s. So basically eco, low, medium, high. Okay, so say if you got it on this mode, press and hold, turn off, and you press and hold, it's going to go straight to that mode. So there is no shortcut to the lowest mode. Now if you double press this button from off, that's how you get into these kind of flashy modes. That's the rainbow mode. Again, I don't really use these modes that much. Some of you, they might be useful. That kind of like a red and a blue. Maybe this one could be useful in an emergency to attract some attention. Press and hold to turn off, but it doesn't memorize whatever feature you had in there before, the aux mode. Now if you want to access the UV mode, just press and hold this button here. Okay, I'll actually demonstrate that with the lights off in a moment. And I've also got the laser mode here, so if you just press and hold that red button, you've got it. You can see it turn on. There is also an electronic lock, so you can press and hold these two switches here on the side and it will flash a couple of times. There we go. So that will indicate that the light is locked. Okay, and just press and hold again. There we go for a couple of seconds and it turns back on. Okay, so this is the UV mode and you can see it's charging up this glow-in-the-dark material here on my Revon E8. So picking up all these security features on this Note very easily. So you can see, geez, even my fingernails look a bit weird underneath. And you've got this, other interesting bits and pieces. Actually not sure if any of this stuff will fluoresce, but yeah, you can see this little figurine I have here is of this Wookiee. It's kind of fluorescing in a slightly different color on the arms and the torso. Certain plastics will also fluoresce, as you can see, dyes and things like that. So here is a ceiling bounce test I ran with the Fenix E06R on high, so the 700 lumen mode. And you can see you get about a minute of runtime on that 700 lumens before the light steps down. You've got this sort of staircase pattern, and by 6 minutes, you're sitting on about 40% output. And here are some tests I ran with my Optical Lightmaster Pro. You can see on the high mode, I measured 128 meters of range on switch on, which is pretty impressive for a little flashlight like this. All right, so some considerations if you're thinking of getting the Fenix E06R. So the first one is the output and runtime. So of course it's 700 lumens is pretty impressive considering the size of this flashlight, you know, size of a key fob, I suppose. But yeah, running this thing on high all the time is going to drain the battery pretty quickly, and the output drops, you know, within a minute, like you saw in the ceiling bounce test. Okay, it's just got a small body and a small battery in there, so you really can't expect all that much. But yeah, it does produce over 100 meters of throw, which again is quite, you know, impressive for a keychain flashlight. But yeah, the beam overall is tailored towards a short to medium range use. A second consideration is, I wish Fenix would have just added in some solid colored modes in there. Like for example, the red mode just sort of fades in and out. I don't have much use for that, but if you could just pause it on, you know, fully on, that would have been actually good, so I could use it as a night light or something. The third consideration is that this thing has a non-replaceable battery. So basically, once it conks out, that's it. You're going to have to get another one. Finally, the Fenix E06R has a premium price tag compared to a lot of those run-of-the-mill keychain flashlights out there. But yeah, of course, you get that premium build quality and a variety of different features that aren't available on most keychain flashlights. Overall, I think the E06R is a great little addition if you're someone who just wants something on your keychain and you sort of set and forget kind of option, and especially as a backup light, I think this would be great as well for some of you out there, especially those people who don't carry around flashlights a lot. It could be a great kind of gift. It's ultra compact, feature rich. You know, you've got that white, those two white LEDs, UV, you've got laser on there as well. And of course, it's built to Fenix's high standards. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you have questions, just let me know and I will get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, click the like button and share it with someone who might be interested. Just helps me to get my channel out to more people. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews, make sure you subscribe. Fenix E06R, and I'll just cycle through the modes. So you've got eco, low, medium, and high. The high is for 700 lumens. It's just kind of pitch black up ahead. I'll go for a little walk, and also I will pop it onto the 150 lumen mode, so this mode doesn't step down. Probably going to be using this one the most. And yeah, there's more than enough light. Can't quite see into that clearing, but the trees left and right are fine. This is the Fenix E06R, and that's the highest mode, which will give you over 100 meters of range. Okay, so this is kind of like a long range shot, so it's doing pretty well in this open field here. Now, that's your low mode, you can't really see, or eco, low, medium. Yeah, the lower medium will be fine as a walking light, and high. Surprisingly throwy, but got a lot of flood as well. There's a couple of SST 12 LEDs in there. Yeah, that's your low mode, that's enough. Now, you can't really see that so well on camera for some reason. I've got the ISO just a little too low, just to make sure it doesn't blow out. Fenix E06R, and this dark sort of path is zero light here. That's your low mode. Medium and high. You can see all the way to the back of that path there. Okay, of course the 700 lumen mode isn't going to last very long. Only about, I believe, a minute or so before it steps down. But you can use this mode here, the medium mode. Oops, where it is, the medium mode here. And it will not step down, 150 lumens. I'll go for a little walk, show you the beam profile.